Now, I love our conversations. We talk about all the big issues and current affairs. And actually, why I enjoy bringing Steve Denyer into the show is we don't just go, oh, what's on TV tonight, Steve? We actually also kind of cover what I think are actually quite topical issues. And one of them today that struck me, and this is just my ignorance, really, was seeing Alec Baldwin has just been indicted over this incident that took place that Steve will remind us about. And I went, blimey, I thought that had all been settled and done with. Steve Denyer, welcome. Good to have you back. Virgin Radio presenter and expert.
First question, Nick. That cake's quite amazing, isn't it? I was Peter Cardwell's cake, but it's got a few surprises.
Well, it has, including it's stuck to the tooth,
and zingy, and everything's going on there. Really interesting you say this about Alec Baldwin. It's a very complicated matter. Of course, that poor woman was shot in charge of firearms on the movie set of Rust in New Mexico. So we had criminal charges way back when. They were dropped. Then a civil case started. That's still ongoing. But now a criminal case has been brought again.
How does it come back? That's what I don't understand.
So behind the scenes, they've been doing lots of toing and froing and lots of kind of replica moments, like recreating the moment. They recreated the gun, and basically what they're saying is months after all the criminal charges were dropped, he's now being indicted for involuntary manslaughter.
So not murder?
Not murder.
It was pretty obvious it was not murder, though, wasn't it?
No. And this stems from the fatal shooting of the cinematographer Halyna Hutchins on the set of Rust. So it's a very complicated thing. He would have had to pull the trigger to fire the live round, and this is what that criminal case is all about. There's no escaping this for him. It seems that lots of people are after him. He's very famous. He's got lots of money. He was never going to get off scot-free. Of course, you've also got the civil case, which is being taken against him.
But he will try and settle that now, won't he?
I think so.
And look, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but effectively, by having a settlement, I was about to say buying someone off, but having a settlement, you can close down also what they say about it.
Yes, you can just shut it down.
Yeah.
But with the criminal case, it has to go to court, and these people are saying, we're looking forward to our day in court. I can
understand the family and friends feeling about this. There's a little part of me wonders, though, have we tipped a point here where if this was anyone but Alec Baldwin, would they have pursued this as so hard? I think that's a legitimate question.
Yes, and I think it's true. I think that Alec Baldwin is a
star.
Is a huge name. Also, he seems to be a bit of a Marmite character, and he's not that lovable when you see clips of him and what have you. He was very, very... I mean, there's not a lot he could have said in the aftermath of this incident.
Wasn't good PR.
But it wasn't good PR, and I don't think he necessarily handled it. I think he was pretty much like, it's not me, nothing to do with me. I've read so many articles about what was going on the set of this movie, and it would seem like it was just a bunch of cowboys putting a movie together, really cheap budget. There's no way this weapon should have been loaded in the first place. There should have been somebody actually handling the weapon. It
sounded very sloppy.
Properly. Sounds like he just got hold of the gun, fired it, and then the inevitable, the tragedy happens. So it still rumbles on. I was saying earlier to the doctors, actually, it's interesting because it looks like Donald Trump could be president in the US again. Of course, Alec Baldwin was used on Saturday Night Live as the Donald Trump impersonator for years and years. He got a lot of money from that. So it'll be interesting to see what happens later on this year.
He'll have court experience, both of them, won't they? There you go. Exactly. I thought that was very good. There's my
There
humour.
we go. I love that.
OK, so that's Alec Baldwin. I bet the one thing I said to you, never talk to me about on this show is Madonna. So how's that going?
Well, this is an interesting case. I'm sure you'll like this one because two fans are taking her to court. Everyone is talking about this. You and I have spoken about this before. This is a bigger subject matter. Picture the scene. You've saved up £400, maybe £500 to see a gig on a Tuesday night. And on the ticket it says, doors open at 6, warm up at 7, main act, Madonna at 8 o'clock. Madonna doesn't get on stage until gone 10:30.
I would have left. I don't do this. I get, even our local theatre, if they're late, my wife's saying, sit.
Right.
sit.
Yeah.
You're not leaving. I said, well, why can't they open at 8? What's the problem?
But imagine, you know, if you've never seen her and you've always wanted to see it, it's a Tuesday night in Brooklyn, so the show then doesn't finish until 5 minutes to 1 in the morning. All the ferries have stopped, the public transport stopped, all those people who've hired, you know, babysitters. It goes on and on and on and on and on. And 2 people said, actually, this is not on.
Were they people working for her?
No, these are fans.
Oh, good for them.
Fans who went to see the Brooklyn show said it ruined the night. We were late for work. We want some kind of compensation. They filed a lawsuit. At the moment, we don't know how much for, but I'm a fan. I'm saying good for them.
Hey, listen, I'm with them all the time because, you know, if ever there's like a reason in this business, it's happened to me. So if Trisha can't get on the line at 4 o'clock, they say stay here at your desk.
Are you saying Trisha's the Madonna of talkTV?
Of course she is. and I'm sitting here saying, well, not unless you pay me more, right? It doesn't happen. No, I get it. I hate anything that can't start on time.
And it's really weird because I have toured, you know, with my work at Virgin Radio, I've toured with bands at a big arenas, and we've gone through, you know, the process of putting on a show. You get a really strict itinerary, you know, with stuff happening. Dinner's at 6:30, sound checks at 7, last checks at 8, on stage at 8:30. And it's by the book. And she's got this reputation for the last 20 years of, you know, she took to the stage really late in Amsterdam one night a couple of years ago and said, pack the booing in. All right, if you just want to get home, I'll just give you 40 minutes of my show. And that's what she did. So she's got a reputation for doing this. She couldn't do it here because they will cut the sound.
Are you finding this hard to be a bit critical of Madonna? Because you're kind of like, every time I see you, it's in praise of Madonna.
Well, when I last went to see her, bearing in mind I do early breakfast at Virgin Radio, she didn't go on till 9:30. We're now at 11 o'clock. I cut the show 40 minutes early because I needed to get home. I needed to see. So I
are you
get the
suing?
pain.
Are you suing?
No, I'm not, but I'm very interested to see this case play out.